And there is chaos tonight in the president's hometown of Chicago. Thousands of the city's teachers are protesting on the streets, and the strike is putting 400,000 public school students' safety in jeopardy. Now, earlier, Governor Mitt Romney released a statement expressing his disappointment for this walkout. It reads, President Obama has chosen his side in this fight, sending his vice president last year to assure the nation's largest teachers union that you should have no doubt about my affection for you and the president's commitment to you. I choose to side with the parents and students, depending on public schools, to give them the skills to succeed, and my plan for education reform will do exactly that. And then earlier, Chicago Mayor Rombo, Deadfish, Emanuel responded.
Well, I appreciate Ms. Romney's statement on behalf of the kids and the parents of the city of Chicago. If he wants to help, he can then determine that when it comes to his tax cut, he will never cut the Department of Education and the funding that's necessary. And he will make sure that there will never be a cut in any education to pay for his tax cuts for the most fortunate. So while I appreciate his lip service, what really counts is what we're doing here. And I don't really give two hoots about national comments, scoring political points, or trying to embarrass, or whatever, the president.
Maybe you'll call on Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam to help once again. Pretty nasty, but whose side is President Obama on? Joining me with reaction, Fox News contributor Tamara Holder and the author of the best-selling book Blacklash, FreedomWorks outreach director, Fox News contributor Deneen Borelli. All right, little Jeopardy time, little quiz time. Of fourth grade students, what percentage of them are proficient in reading in Chicago schools? Tamara.
About 49%.
I read eighth grade students, it's fourth grade, you're right, 80% are not proficient in math or reading.
85%, only 15%.
Yeah,
all right, next question.
Horrible.
Out of all the kids that go into freshman year in high school, what percentage of kids graduate?
About 49 to 50%.
I'd say less than that.
Wrong.
Yeah.
56%. All right, now.
I have a different statistic.
How much does the average family in Chicago, working family, earn a year?
Probably 40.
Close.
I would say less than that.
46,000. What does the average teacher make in Chicago?
Oh, I know the answer to that one.
I know the answer too.
$76,000, Sean. And these kids are not learning.
And how much in this tough economy have they offered the teachers in terms of a package deal for 4 years? What percentage increase? Wait, do you know? You just...
Oh, yeah, I know, 16%.
16%. All right.
But this isn't about just money, Sean. And, you know, I like your little intro. You have really good writers, and you guys practice these attacks on Obama.
Or Obama.
But this is not about the safety of the children being...
Sure it is.
Being... the teachers being responsible for the safety
You're getting off track.
No, they are not responsible. Parents are responsible.
For teaching these kids.
City is responsible.
Providing them with a safe environment.
Right.
This is
inside of a school. Inside of a school.
By the way, this is not an attack on teachers. I support teachers. A great teacher is worth their weight in gold.
It's all about the unions.
It's about the unions and the unholy relationship that they have with the Democratic Party. They take rank and file money. They give it to Democrats. And Democrats like Obama don't have the courage to speak up. Here's what I want to know. Wait a minute.
The contract is up. They are negotiating a contract.
15% of kids can read on the fourth grade level in fourth grade. 45% of these kids don't graduate. And they get $76,000 a year. The average family in Chicago makes $46,000.
But that's not the teacher's fault.
Are you kidding me?
They just walked out on this.
It is not. They did not walk out on the students. It is not about. You're saying that this is all about money. It is not about money. Do you know the other issues, Deneen, that are at issue in this contract? It's not about just money.
Next question. How much of a deficit awaits this system at the end of this year? Anybody know the answer?
Too big.
$712 million.
$1 billion deficit. They're offered a 16% increase. They have one of the worst school records in the country, and the teachers union goes on strike.
Part of the problem is they don't want the teachers to be held accountable for these kids that are failing. Only on planet
standardized tests
can these people get away with this.
Because teachers cannot be responsible for their
school choice, Sean. School choice. This will put the power in the hands of the parents.
Why shouldn't teachers be responsible for whether or not they succeed in educating the children that they're tasked to succeed?
Because it's not just about standardized tests that you use. No, these are kids that are coming from the inner city. We're talking about parents or teachers that now have to play multiple roles of parent, safeguarder. They feed them.
So they get paid.
You know how many kids? Wait, I have a quiz question for you. How many kids go to Chicago Public School every day hungry, and their first meal of the day is by Chicago Public Schools?
They actually talked about bringing these kids into school. Let me answer. They actually talked about bringing these kids into school every day and giving them lunch and giving them breakfast.
You didn't answer the question.
So the percentage is fairly high, but you compare the standardized test to other big cities, and they're failing. And they're failing more than other big cities. So when you put it in the same environment, and here's the problem. President Obama can't say no to the teachers' unions, so he's going to sit by and take a pass on it because he wants their money.
And you know what?
No,
it's not
about
just
Rahm Emanuel being a leader.
Obama. He's silent on this. Where's the NAACP? Where's Jesse Jackson in his hometown, Chicago?
Because they're liberals.
They're all there.
They're all silent.
They are not silent.
I haven't heard anything.
What has the president said?
You just had Reverend Jackson on your show last week.
Wait, he didn't say anything about this. What did President Obama say about this today?
Why is it his
Obama say
responsibility
about
to talk
this
about
today?
it? It is Rahm Emanuel's responsibility, who has a future in politics. It is his job.
Well, maybe he can bring in Louis Farrakhan like he did for the murder rate going through the roof.
Obama hasn't talked about the murder rates. He hasn't talked about the strike that's going on, and this is his
Because he's
hometown.
beholden to the teachers' unions. He wants their money. There is a connection.
No.
It's an unholy alliance.
You're spinning. You're politically spinning the issue.
By telling the truth,
this is about teachers. No, this is about teachers who have a contract who are being represented. The teachers.
They're not being held accountable.
Well, I knew I was going to lose anyway.
Okay, sorry.
No, you know,
I mean, I'm a liberal
The children
loser.
are the ones who are losing, and this is a horrible situation.
I'm a liberal loser.
One more time.
I'm a liberal loser and proud of it because I have a bleeding heart, Sean, something you don't have.
Okay, 2-1. I think the taxpayers have been very generous to teachers, and in this economy,
quality education.
Exactly. All right, we got to roll.